Are you sick of digging through these crypts just to find some Surtling cores? Even after you're past the Bronze Age, just make a Surtling core spawner. It's so much easier than having to deal with all of this fight and fuss, and it'll only take you a couple of minutes. Here's how. Alright, so to build a Surtling core spawner, all you need to do is find one of these fires just burning in a swamp. They're fairly easy to see far away just because it's the only light in such a dark place. And then what I like to do is find one of the indestructible trees like this one and just kind of build a really gross staircase up a decent bit and then build a house up in it. Somewhere for you to put a portal, a nice workbench to repair your shit, and a bed. Now the bed is funky because you would think it wouldn't do anything up here, but you can kind of balance a fire on some of the branches here. And honestly, it doesn't need to be perfect. As you can see, this doesn't line up at all. It's really fugly, but it works for what you need to do. And the main point was just getting it anchored to this tree, which will give you that sweet blue stability. So now to get into the actual spawner itself. So you can see this is kind of what the area looks like. I don't have much of anything special here. I've got a lot of coal from where a bunch of already died, just naturally from water or from me. Yeah, you can pick that up. And that's the perk, is these cores and the coal. That's why we really want to do this, because I'm sick of burning my own coal and going through the crypts to find the cores myself. One of the first things I like to do here, I'm just gonna go ahead and clear out some of these ancient trees. Only the ones that can be cut down. You can't do anything about the ones that are just here to stay. I don't care if they're log form. I don't care about the wood. You can take them out if you want. It really doesn't matter. I'm just trying to get as much spawning area as possible so that we can really get as many Surtlings just spewing out of this fire as we can. Next, after I clear out the logs a bit more, I'm just gonna mine everything down just a tiny bit. I want to make sure that it is barely touching in the water, kind of like this, where I can still walk before it gets deep enough. So like right about this, where I start swimming, that's too deep. I want to be able to walk decently in there, and that's enough to damage them. So we're just gonna kind of clear it out a bit, and all of the immediate surrounding area, because water will damage the Surtlings for you automatically, and it is very quick to kill them. So if their only spawn option is in the water, they'll just die automatically, and you can just sit up in your nice cozy cave up there where no one will get you, unless you know you leave it open like I did at night. Then you might get a wraith or two, but luckily none are spawning for me at the moment. The other thing you gotta be careful about this, if you're over by the water like I am, is leeches. They will sometimes just pull up on you out of nowhere during this project. You got to be pretty careful not to get poisoned. Unless you got anti-poison with you, then you're probably fine, but just kind of keep an eye out, listen for the shifting in the water, and you'll be fine. This main island in the middle, right where this fire is coming out of, is going to be the most important. You don't want to get that down. Another thing to look out for that I usually am kind of cautious about when mining around here is look around and make sure that there's no spawners either. Those are a quick way to get a little swarmed while trying to pick up your stuff from Jagger and Jagger Elite. Skeletons are so weak and easy by this stage once you're fairly in the Iron Age enough that they shouldn't matter, but it's the Jagger that can if you're very early on. If you're revisiting this after you're past, maybe in the Silver Age, then you're totally okay. And that'll be enough to kill the Surtlings when they spawn. If you're struggling to get them to spawn, make sure you don't have a workbench super close. They don't like spawning near them. See, as soon as I get rid of the workbench, they start spawning and immediately dying. So if you do need to construct around one, slap down that workbench and get yourself a little bit of peace just while you're building. I'm just gonna wait out more blob spawning. You can see it already. There's a ton of coal down there in cores. That one is really just churning it out. And that's how you make a super easy Surtling core spawner. Let me know down in the comments what sort of spawner I should build next, and as always, thank you so much for watching.